As I reflect on my Hot Toys collecting journey, I always thought to myself, one of the only old sideshow clone troopers I still really wanted was Clone Commander Fox, because I never thought that Hot Toys would make Clone Commander Fox. I thought he was a little too obscure, a little, not prominent enough. He's, a Phase 1 Clone Commander from 2008 that only saw very few appearances in the show in this costume. But Hot Toys was like, hey, we made the helmet with our Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, so we might as well make Clone Commander Fox. And I am so happy to have Hot Toys Clone Commander Fox in my collection, specifically in his Phase 1 armor. I love Clone Commander Fox. He is one of my favorite clone trooper characters of all time. Fox did nothing wrong. I'll leave it at that. He is phenomenal, especially his Phase 1 design. I still enjoy his Phase 2 design, but for me, I love the deep red, and I love all the intricate Senate detailings, and kind of like the Phase 2 Shock Trooper inspired red chin, and I just love this design to death. This is one of my favorite clone trooper designs of all time, Phase 1 Commander Fox. And having it in Hot Toys form is so happy for me. It makes me so happy because I love Hot Toys clone troopers. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Clone trooper toys, I still love them, I still buy them, but none of them get me as excited as the Hot Toys ones do. And I don't even get all the Hot Toys ones. Like Umbra Operative, I didn't even have a chance to get that. I don't have Apo, I don't have the, ARF Trooper, I don't have the Heavy, I don't have the Bad Batch, but it's like, I'm not worried about having all of them. I just want the ones that mean a lot to me. And obviously Commander Fox means a lot to me. So yeah, let's talk about the box real quick before we talk about the figure, because I love Hot Toys boxes and I feel like I need to at least talk about them a little bit because they are, to me, kind of a part of the experience. Very nice picture of the figure up front. They've had the same kind of style of box for years and years. You can see this little wrap has him with his DC-15 rifle. He has the carbine on the front, and just says Clone Commander Fox. And yeah, it's a pretty basic box, but I do want to show the inserted poster because it's very interesting that Hot Toys, kind of knowing that they didn't really have much of a companion piece for this figure, decided to depict him with the Phase 2 Shock Troopers. Now, don't get me wrong, love this figure, but they don't go together. They do not go together. And a lot of people are upset by that. A lot of people feel like the Hot Toys should have made a Phase 2 Fox because we already have Phase 2 Shock Troopers. And I understand that, I do. I mean, look at how gorgeous those are. One of my favorite figures in my entire collection is the Hot Toy Shock Trooper. But I'm so biased towards the Phase 1 Fox. I can wait for a Phase 2 Fox. I'm sure they'll do it. I'm sure they will. But I'm happy that we got this because I love Phase 1 Fox to death. One of my favorite designs of all time. And I think Hot Toys got it about, I would say like 98% absolutely spot on. So there's the box. Let's talk about the figure. So what does our boy CC1010 come with? Well, what he has on him currently, he has the same standard DC-15 carbine that we have seen for pretty much every Hot Toys clone trooper. It has the full-down stock, but it doesn't go down all the way, which is kind of annoying. But I feel like the joint is, still pretty tight. It's not just going to get knocked loose. It looks gorgeous with all the weathering and everything. Very nice accessory. I obviously have him with the trigger finger hand over there, and I have him with his pointing hand over here. You can see he has a lot of nice weathering details. He also has two DC-17 blaster pistols in his holsters, and those look pretty nice as always. And that's pretty much all he has on him. He does have the very standard Hot Toys display base. Looks like a ship floor. Clone Commander Fox on the front on the nice metal nameplate. It's got the adjustable crotch cradle. But what else does he come with? Because he still has, like, a lot of the other standard Clone Trooper accessories. So Commander Fox, I feel like more often than not, was depicted with the rifle more than the carbine. But for shelf space, sometimes these rifles just take up so much space. Looks gorgeous as always. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Have no real complaints there. And then for additional hands, he has open hands, and you can see a lot of the nice weathering detail on the red armor plates. So he's got open hands right there. He also has a right gesturing hand. These are all like repaints of the same kind of hands we've already seen. So he can kind of reach He can reach. But we also do have a 2-finger salute pointing hand, which is very nice. And last but not least, we have a left trigger finger hand, so he can either hold a rifle or a carbine with his left hand or dual wield the DC-17s. You do also get extra wrist pegs in case any of them break, which is very nice, because if you have a decent amount of Hot Toys like I do, you got several of these extra. The only wrist peg I've ever had break was from a 3-0 figure, and thankfully that one came with extras too, so I've never had a problem with the Hot Toys ones, but I really do appreciate that they include these, just as a little bit of security in case something happens. Getting up close and personal with Hot Toys Clone Commander Fox. I still can't believe I'm saying that. I adore the helmet. I think the helmet looks absolutely perfect. I know some people still have issues with the broad, mouth vent, and it doesn't bug me as much as you would think. It doesn't click with my brain that something looks off. It still looks like a Phase 1 clone trooper to me, and I'm pretty happy with that. There is at least one objectively incorrect issue with the helmet, and that is his antenna. It's white. It should be black. It doesn't bug me too much, and if it bugs me to no avail, I got good news. Black paint is very easy to apply, and you can just paint it black. You're painting white black. It'll take maybe like 1.5 coats, and you'll have a black antenna, because it is a separate piece. It is a separate removable piece. You can see it kind of swivels a little bit, so you can easily just remove that, paint it all black, and there you go. So it's an easy fix, but I feel like it's kind of an oversight. I feel like Hot Toys should have known that that should have been black. He does have the little floodlight as well. There is a subjectively incorrect issue that some people may take issue with, and that is him not having a lot of painted detail on the helmet. Like, he doesn't have the black line or some of the gray in there. And that's because, you know, it's a Clone Wars design. So I think they were probably just looking at the Clone Wars design thinking, oh, they don't really have the black line in the Clone Wars, so this figure doesn't really need it. But I don't know, it's kind of odd. I feel like, did they do that with the 332nd? Did they? Let's find out. They did. They did not paint the black line on the 332nd either. So it's just what they do with these animated helmets. I, personally would have liked to see it, but I'm not hurting. Overall, though, I just think this helmet is gorgeous. They did add the little bit of lighter red at the tip, too, which is kind of a nice little detail. But some people would probably look at that and think, well, the lighter red wasn't there on the Clone Wars either, so why do they not have the black? I don't know. Artistic liberty. I ain't stressing about it. But I can see why some people might have an issue with that on a subjective standpoint. But I feel like the only objective inaccuracy that really, really bugs me is the antenna. But overall, I think it looks great. I love the helmet. It's pretty much the same kind of helmet we've seen for other Phase 1s. It doesn't feel oversized with Fox for whatever reason, even though I know it's the same size. Something about it. Maybe it's like the framing of the colors or like the visor, but it doesn't feel oversized. It just doesn't. It feels perfectly fine to me. It's Commander Fox. Moving down to take a look at the torso paint, I just love that pattern. I think that the Senate securities from the Clone Wars have one of the coolest decos. And like even the subtle little detail on the biceps too, they captured really nicely. It's just so cool looking, and obviously Hot Toys always brings the awesome little natural weatherings here and there. And I do appreciate that Commander Fox isn't too weathered, because I feel like he shouldn't be, because he doesn't see a ton of action. He's a Senate security, he's a Coruscant guard, he's not seeing frontline action, he's not super weathered and everything, but obviously people want Chancellor Palpatine dead, so he's got to at least see some action. Going down even further, the belt looks very nice. I really do appreciate that. Really love the dark red. I like the little holsters. It's pretty much the same thing we've already kind of seen, but I just kind of like how they dangle, and I like the little details on him. He does have the skirting armor. Yeah, I think it's called a comma, right? I know it's called a comma. I'm a nerd like that. It looks very nice. It looks very nice. I like the little weathering and everything. Little dark red kind of lining it out. No paint on the thighs. That's just the design. He doesn't really have any color on the thighs. But his legs continue that really nice dark red. And he has some white soles, too, on his boots. Overall, it's a very gorgeous looking clone. Again, one of my boys, one of my favorites. Alright, going over articulation on our favorite Chancellor Palpatine simp. His head is on the very awesome, mega ball joints, where he has so much up, so much down, so much tilt. He joints at the neck, at the head. It's just very nice all around. It's Hot Toys. They have very nicely articulated bodies, especially on their clone troopers. The shoulders, I really do appreciate how not only do they have a butterfly, but they can also shrug up and down. Because I feel like some people, like, they pose their clone troopers like this, and it makes them look kind of, you know, scrawny. But if you have the shoulders shrugged up, as they probably should be, it really adds a lot of that armor bulk and really kind of accentuates, you know, the bulk of a clone trooper and their armor. But, you know, you get a lot of nice moving forward, and with all those butterflies and everything, you can get them in really cool, you know, forward-pointing DC-17 poses. I just love Fox so much. I love this figure so much, man. By far one of my favorite clone troopers I have in my collection. All my Hot Toys are. They're just so good. He does have a bicep swivel, and he also does have a double-jointed elbow that goes up pretty far. He has the standard Hot Toys wrist pegs, so you can, you know, move them up and down and then re-rotate them and then have them in and out. He does have a waist joint. The armor, it's kind of easier to do it when you kind of lift the armor, but you have a pretty decent crunch, and you can go back a little bit and side to side, but I would be very mindful of, like, the armor clanking into itself, because it might end up scratching some paint, so I'd definitely be mindful of that. But you can just slot the armor right back down. He does also have rotation there as well. The legs, very nicely articulated. They're on nice ratchets, so they move forward pretty far. They move out pretty far. And he does have a thigh swivel, as well as a pretty good double-jointed knee. I would say that's pretty good if you ask me. And then he has the nice standard Hot Toys ball joints at the feet. So you get a lot of pivot and a lot of down and a pretty good amount of up. You just have to be mindful of moving it a little too far and the foot popping off. So that is pretty much Hot Toys Clone Commander Fox all said and done. I just wanted to show off that he can pull off the iconic, you know, long rifle kneeling pose when he was capturing Zero the Hutt. I just love this figure so much. It is so awesome to have a Phase 1 Clone Commander Fox in Hot Toys. Now, having this helmet in the Hot Toys molding realm, I feel like does open the gates for potentially a Phase 1 Cody. Maybe they could modify it and do like Captain Locke, maybe a Riot Trooper. I don't know. I would love to see so many more clones from Hot Toys. Again, I don't get them all. I don't get the ones that don't speak to me and, you know, are especially expensive and rare as well. I don't really go after a lot of those. But I pre-ordered this guy before Sideshow.com even had a picture up on the website. I mean, there's already the reveal pictures, but on the page to order, there was no picture yet. And I pre-ordered it that early. So I was totally in on this, and I'm so happy it exists. I understand this release is pretty divisive because it's a Phase 1 Fox instead of a Phase 2 Fox, so it doesn't really have anyone to go with quite yet. And also, it's Commander Fox in the first place, and people are unjustifiably upset with Commander Fox for having to kill Clone Trooper 5s, even though 5s was holding a lethal weapon up to him and his men, and having a general and captain held hostage, and was also known for already trying to kill somebody. Yeah, it's if you think Fox did the wrong thing, you don't understand law enforcement. I'm just gonna put it that way. So he also warned him. Fox warned 5s. Put it down. Oh, jeez. It's so whatever. It's a running gag at this point. Fox did nothing wrong. Hashtag Fox did nothing wrong. If you think he did something wrong, you don't understand law enforcement. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, why couldn't a Fox stunned 5s? Why couldn't he have stunned him? You don't match a lethal force with a non-lethal force. That's just law enforcement. You're mad at Star Wars for being accurate to law enforcement. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think this release is awesome. Throw some black paint on that antenna if it bugs you that much, and you're set. This is such an awesome figure. I really hope we get more Clone Wars releases from Hot Toys. I'm hoping for a Wolf, especially since he's back in Bad Batch. I would love to see a Bad Batch Cody in the gray. I want to see a Commander Bly. I want to see Commander Gree. I want to see everything. Now that we have a Phase 1 ARC Trooper helmet with the Umber Operative, maybe a Captain Fordo, maybe a Phase 1 Rex that's not Ahsoka style. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very curious to see what Hot Toys will bring us moving forward. Anyways, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.